Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Shereelee. I am a certified makeup artist, and today I'm going to be showing you some new brushes that I've got, and also I'm going to show you how to professionally use them for your makeup. So, as a working makeup artist, I always need brushes because I always end up with dirty brushes and I'm washing them all the time. And apart from that, I also do makeup on myself, you know, for the transformation and stuff. So I went on Aliexpress because that's where I get my brushes from. And guess what? I found these amazing ones for just $29.60. I couldn't believe how affordable they were. If you're like me and love a good bargain, you'll definitely want to check these out. Plus, with the up to 80% off deals on right now, you can grab these and other great items at an absolute steal. Oh, and don't forget, there's free shipping on so many products too. I've linked everything down below, so just click through and shop directly. And hey, before I forget, I've got some exclusive discount codes for you. Make sure to use the code I've dropped in the subtitle to get even more off your order. So, first of all, this is how they come packaged. So I'm gonna take one of the package. So this is to protect the bristles. Wow, look how soft that is. This is a defined buffer. This is a stippling brush. This will create an airbrushed effect with the foundation. This is more of a dense brush to apply the foundation. So I would usually go for this one if I'm being honest. But lately I've been gravitating also towards this. These are powder brushes. This is the Luxe Face Definer. This is the one I showed you earlier, the first one I opened. And this is the powder brush. This is for loose powder to set the face. And this is more pointy, so you can go into more narrow areas and, you know, just more precise kind of. And this is more like for an overall. Now these two, this is the Luxe Sheer Cheek, and this is like a blush brush, and this is the face shape for like smaller areas, like maybe over here. You don't want to use the big one. These three are for the contour. This is for the highlight. This is for face paint, to do the cream contour, for example. The petite stippling. It's like these are very similar to each other. They're both flat, but this is more wider than this one. This is more for contour, like for the sides of the nose. I like the fact that on each brush there's the name, like roughly for what it's used, because if you're still a beginner and you want your first set of brushes, this would be very ideal. I think they perform well. I still need to use them, but from the quality where I've seen, from my experience, I already can tell that these are really nice quality brushes. This is to apply the cream concealer, and this is to buff the concealer. These are all blending brushes for the eyeshadow. You have never got enough of these, to be honest, because I would use this just for one client, easy. Because sometimes you need just one clean brush to just blend. You've got 6 blending brushes. You got the small one, which is the Luxe pencil. A pencil brush is used to go under the eye or to smudge an eyeliner. This is the eye blender. This is a small brush. Usually you would use this for the corner of your eyes to apply like a dark shade, and then you would move on to a bigger one to blend it with. Yeah, this is the Luxe Soft Crease. This is for the crease basically, because it's very feathered and it would be easy to blend the crease with it. This is a Petite Crease. This is more dense. These are more fluffy. So these three are like designed to go inside the crease. These are 3 important brushes to have in your kit. This is the detail liner. So basically, if you have a product like this one, because I have it in front of me and I want to try it, you would need a brush like this one. You could also use this for the lips, because it's small and it's angled, and it would get, let me get close, but it would be ideal to do the Cupid's bow. So I would use this for that, for the eyeliner and for the lips. This is the winged eyeliner. So again, you can use this for the eyeliner. It depends on the thickness. If you want it very small, very thin, I would go for this. But for the regular one, all over the eyeline, this is the one. And this is the brow liner. As you can see, it's flat and it's short, so it doesn't move. It's not flimsy. You need something that picks up the color and doesn't move it a lot. If you have a brow pomade and you want to, or a brow powder, you would need something angled to create that sharp shape, or you would need it to go under it with the concealer. This I would also use to clean up under here with concealer. These are the eyeshadow brushes. This is the all over shader, which means to do the base shade all over the eye. The smudger. This is quite dense. It's flat. It's quite flat, but it's dense. It's like in between a flat and blending, but because it's a little bit hard, it's not hard, it's quite soft, but the bristles are not long, so it becomes more firmer. It's ideal to smudge any eyeliner that you want. Next we have the smoky eye shader. Again, this is not very fluffy, so a blending brush that is very fluffy is going to distribute a lot the color or the pigment, but because this is more dense and the hair is shorter on it, it would help to do the smoky eye but not get it everywhere. It will keep it in place but blend it. And this is the detail shader, and I would use this for under the eye to create the smokiness under the eye. Even this, you could use it for that because as I said, it's small. So those are all the brushes. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try them out and see, you know, how they perform on the skin. I would suggest to wash them the first time any brush you get because it's more hygienic that way, but I don't have the time to wash them, so I'm just gonna go use them as they are. So I'm also going to explain how to wash the brushes. There is instruction on the website and everything, but I'm just gonna do this for the sake of the video. Never put the handle in water. Why? Because this is wood. A brush has the wooden part, and then in this part there's glue that is holding the hair inside. So yeah, when you put this in water, first of all, paint will crack. Wood swells in water. Also, because it gets swollen, it will affect the hairs and the glue and everything, and it starts to mold, and you know, you don't want that. So basically what you do is you make a bowl with water, you put the brush like this in water, you make some soap. I like to use a bar of soap. That's what I like to use. Feel free to use whatever you want. I'm just gonna say what I do, and that's it. So yeah, I just swirl it around a little bit on the brush, and then I continue to swirl it around in my hand like this, and then I rinse it again. I swirl around and until I see the color is gone and they become white again. Some pigments might stain, like red and pink, but if it's stained, it's stained. But in general, it's clean. But for foundation, for example, it's not okay to see foundation inside the brush. You need that to go away. Yeah, so after you do that for a couple of times and you know that there's no more soap in it, you could feel it. Never put the brushes like this because the water will go down anyway over this area. Ideally, you would have something to store the brushes like this. There are holders, but I don't have that option. So what I do is I make a towel on the table and I put the brush like this. Just imagine this is a towel. So I put the towel like this over here. Never use any heating on them. Don't use a hairdryer or not in direct sunlight. If I'm gonna use them the next day, I like to put them outside to get dry, but not in direct sunlight. And you leave them to dry for 24 hours. You need them to dry. Don't put them damp in because they will mold. yeah, I think that's it. So now I'm just gonna apply some makeup with them. So if you're training to be a working makeup artist, I highly suggest you get a palette that's transparent and a spatula. And the reason is because we don't want our brushes to double dip into the product, especially cream products. So I'm going to start with some moisturizer and I'm going to apply it with the stippling brush. I just realized I don't have a mirror in front of me. I'm going to apply some foundation. And I'm going to use the buffer. I'm gonna tap it like this first, always starting from the inner face and then working my way outwards. And I like to go in circular motions. No, today I don't want to make a full coverage look. I'm just making this video to test the brushes basically, and then in about an hour I'm going to pick up my son from school, so I really don't want to look very glam, you know. So far what I'm really impressed, and I know it's because of the brush, not the product, because there's nothing special with the product. If anything, I didn't really like it in the past, but what I'm noticing is that it's not leaving any streaks. But maybe I didn't put enough product, because less is more. More product could potentially mean more streaks. So maybe it's because of that as well. But yeah, so far so good. I'm happy. Don't know if I'm gonna be using this one. I could maybe use it for under the eye. However, I think it's a tiny bit big for that. So for now, I'm just gonna be using these two. Now I'm going to add some concealer. As I said, we don't use the wand. We just put some of the product on here on the palette and pick it up with the cream shader. So I hope this is not too dark for me, but I picked up some of the product. I'm just gonna. So this is to put the color, because synthetic brushes do deposit more color than ones that are natural brushes. For example, this one. If I had to put this, probably this would absorb most of my product and would eventually, you know, waste your product because you're not using it. So I'm just gonna apply this all over my eye. I'm going to use the concealer buffer to buff the edges basically into the previously made foundation. I'm very impressed with how much these brushes are blending the makeup and not leaving any streaks. I'm just gonna get closer. And remember, I don't have any powders or anything yet, and these are not new products to me. I've been using them, so the brush does make a huge difference. Now I'm gonna set my eyes. This foundation does not need to be set, but I am going to be setting under my eyes. And for that, I'm gonna be using, I'm gonna use this face definer. I'm gonna get a bit of baking powder, makeup baking powder, just a tiny bit, and just do a little bit under the eyes. And all over the eyes. I'm using it all over the eye just because it's just powder. I'm not gonna use it any other pigment. And if maybe I could, just set a little bit my T-zone just in case. I do tend to oil from here, just a bit. So as I said, I'm not gonna do anything too big for my eyes, but I am going to do a simple look. I'm going to be using a ColourPop palette, so I'm going with a light shade. So I'm gonna do this all over my eye. And I didn't really need to do this. It's just more to get some lightness, kind of, because this has a little bit of a sheer to it, sheen. Going in with this soft luxe crease, and I'm going in with this medium brown, like a medium cool brown. Always tap the brushes. If a product like this one, for example, has lots of fallout, I can see it, lots of kickback, just tap it and the excess will go there and not on your face. And I'm just gonna do this in the crease, circular motions. So soft. I'm very impressed. I keep saying it, but honestly I am. And I do have lots of brushes, but I never had anything of this quality, if I'm being honest. I want to make a little bit dark over here because I like to do that. So I'm going in with the detail shader. I'm going into this dark brown here. And I'm just gonna tap, like make a V, just dragging the color kind of. And when there is no more color, you can go a little bit to around us. Or you could grab another brush. I'm just gonna, I don't know, it's a Luxe crease, but it's clean. Doesn't matter which brush it is, as long as it's a fluffy blending brush. And just go again into that crease with a clean brush to blend this darker tone. So we just wanted to create a little something over there. I would have enjoyed to have a few more flat brushes for the shimmers. This is Soft Definer. Let's see how this is going to perform. I really like this shade over here. I'm just gonna pack it here. This amount of shimmer is enough for right now, to be honest. However, if I wanted this to be more impactful, I would have used either my finger, or if I'm on a client, I would either wet the brush or use a flat brush. Just for the sake of it, I would like to show you how it looks with a flat brush, but I'm going to have to use the one that I use for the concealer because that's the flattest brush I have in this kit. So I'm gonna show you the difference that it makes. A flat brush, you see the difference. So yeah, I would definitely buy a few more of these just so you have options. I'm gonna do the other eye off camera very quick. So the other eye is finished and I went ahead and applied some eyeliner. And now I'm going to show you how to apply gel liner. This brush, I'm gonna grab a little bit of it on my palette and spatula. And close this because it gets dry. And that is very precise. This is for like a, you know, subtle winged eyeliner, nothing too dramatic. If you want it more dramatic, then you might as well go for the bigger brush, but I just want a little bit of detail. I'm just gonna add some mascara so I can move on to the face. I actually forgot the brows, so I'm gonna use this brush for the brows. Personally, I feel like this is a little tiny bit big, but it might work. I like it. This is eyeshadow, it's the same shade I used here, so I'm not sure this is my shade. But you can see the definition from one eye to the other. It makes a huge difference to just touch up the parameters of your eyebrows. So I'm just gonna bronze a little bit my face. So I'm gonna use cream bronzer. Again, spatula, just a tiny amount. I really like this one, the face paint one. And I'm just gonna, I like to do this first, so I do not pick like a huge amount of product. And I like to start from the, almost from the hairline and just buffer that into the middle. But it shouldn't, when you look at the front, you shouldn't see any lines. At least that's how I do it. I love this brush. I like it, I really like it. I see you have these here, so I like to go on it. But it just feathers everything so nicely without too much effort. Honestly, usually I would really need to blend a lot more. I like to warm up the skin here. No harsh lines, just warm up the skin, because with the foundation it tends to look too pale everywhere. This is what I usually would go for. Let's say that. That's what I would usually go for. But since we're trying this, I'm willing to try something new. And it did the same, to be honest, if not better, because I can blend easier with this one. So yeah, it's very natural, no? Would need some concealer, tad bit for brightening my nose here and a bit up here. I'm gonna add some blusher. What I really like also about these brushes that they're not, the size of them, they're not so small like they would resemble a toy, but they're not so big. Sometimes they're like this big. So they would easily fit into a pocket for traveling as well. So I'm gonna do some blush. I'm gonna go for this peachy coral, let's see. And this is where I place my blush. Like this is the, you can see the hollow, that's where the bone is. This is where I put the contour. This is where I put the blusher. This up here is where I put the highlight. So it's like they're on top of each other, but all above my cheekbone. So it's all about the placement and the technique, rather than the product and quality. Yes, it does make a difference, but it's not the most important thing to be able to do good makeup. Just a bit over here because it looks cute. This is like a body highlight as well, so let's see. Yeah. And you know what? Because it's a little bit fluffy, I usually do my highlight with a small fan brush, and which helps me do the placement, like precise placement of the highlight. But this feathers it out and makes it like even more like natural. Yeah, I'm gonna do some lipstick, and I don't know if there's any brush that is specifically for the lips, but most makeup artists, including me, do not use brushes for lipstick. I would more go for a disposable one just because it's disposable. Yeah, so this is how I've been doing my lips lately. I just line my lips with what's this color? Plumping lip liner from Catrice, and this is Stabbing Roll. I really like this shade. And then I have this Revolution lip gloss, and I just put it in the middle. I hope you liked this makeup look, and it was an easy one today. And I also hope you like these brushes as much as I do. Believe me if I tell you that they are really good. I've had lots of brushes. Not lying, I have lots of brushes, as you can see, and they're all from Aliexpress and website like these, but I've never had this brand, and I think this brand is the best one I've tried so far. They're really cute as well. The color is amazing because I love pink. So I do recommend these brushes a lot. If you like this kind of video, please a thumbs up, and do consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below if there's something else you would like me to maybe try, or maybe you would like to see a makeup tutorial of anything in particular. I would be more than happy to fulfill your requests. Until next time, bye bye.